I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't want to do that because that'll tarnish his legacy as well as my legacy.
Let's see at 46 how hard Manny works, and if he's still got it. I wouldn't completely count him out. That's all I'm going to say.
Manny Pacquiao is really making a comeback. This isn't some fun match against a YouTuber or an easy fight with no real meaning. He's jumping right into a serious battle with the current WBC welterweight champion, Mario Barrios. The match is expected to go down on July 19th in Las Vegas, and Pacquiao is already training hard. He looks quick, sharp, and shockingly energetic. The boxing world is amazed, and even Floyd Mayweather has something to say after seeing leaked video of Manny in training. So, what's really going on here? Let's dig into it. Some fighters are built to surprise everyone, and Pacquiao is living proof. At 46, the Filipino legend is getting back in the ring to challenge not just time, but a hungry young champ in what could be one of boxing's wildest comebacks. His opponent, Mario Barrios, a 29-year-old fighter with speed, power, and everything to prove.
Now coming out of retirement to face 29-year-old Mario Barrios for the WBC Welterweight Championship on July 19th in Las Vegas. That's according to an ESPN.
Pacquiao officially retired on September 29, 2021, wrapping up a legendary career that spanned over 20 years, 8 weight classes, and countless unforgettable fights. Most fans thought that was the end, but 4 years later, he's back, lacing up the gloves again, and this time, there's a world title on the line.
Wild news. Look, in the boxing underground rumor mill, this had been floating around for a couple months. We just didn't know if it was going to be for real. Was Manny really going to commit to not just coming back after 4 years away, after just one fight in the last 6 years, at age 46, but to come back directly into a title fight against a young, in his prime, active champion, Mario Barrios? It's interesting theater, to say the least. It's a pay-per-view main event, reportedly for July 9th.
Scheduled for July 2025, the Pacquiao versus Barrios fight will be for the WBC Welterweight Championship, a belt Pacquiao once proudly held. The match is officially approved under a WBC rule that allows legendary fighters to request a title shot if they return from retirement. It's a rare honor reserved for names like Manny Pacquiao.
Pacquiao last fought in 2021 when he lost to Yordenis Ugas. Barrios won the WBC welterweight title from Ugas in 2023. His last fight was a split decision against Abel Ramos on the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson undercard in November. Pacquiao career record 62-8-2 with 39 knockouts. Barrios 29-2-1.
To really see how big this fight is, think about this: Pacquiao turned pro at just 16 years old. And back then, Mario Barrios hadn't even been born yet. Now, nearly 30 years later, they're about to face off in what feels like a gladiator battle. The wise old lion with fire still in his heart versus the young, fearless hunter chasing glory. Since the fight was announced, Pacquiao hasn't wasted a minute. His training is intense. And leaked clips from his gym shock fans everywhere. Most expected to see a slow veteran try to relive the past. But what they saw was vintage Pac-Man, fast, powerful, precise, like he never left. He looked like a man in his prime, not someone closing in on 50.
The video sparked...
That video caused a storm on social media. Is Pacquiao really back? Could he actually win this? Or is this just one last ride before retirement for good? One thing's clear: whether you support the legend or the rising star, this is more than a comeback. This is a battle between generations.
I'm not saying the odds will be high that he's going to come back and pull this upset or even be ultra competitive. But again, it's sort of like Manny's already superhuman. Turning pro at like age 15 or 16 at 106 pounds and winning titles in 8 divisions. And oh, by the way, 2 fights ago for Manny in 2019, he came out of retirement and beat an unbeaten Keith Thurman for the welterweight title at the age of 40. There's very few greats that you can call all-time greats, and I think sometimes even above that category, there's that upper room. Is Manny Pacquiao one of those in boxing history? Sure.
Another clip of Manny Pacquiao recently blew up online and it wasn't even from training or sparring. It was just him casually walking around a room, but even in that relaxed moment, his speed was unreal. He moved like a guy in his 20s. It was like watching a video on fast forward while everything else was in slow motion.
When you started boxing, like, woo, woo.
The speed is still there. Woo!
That short clip confirms what many fans have guessed for a while. Pacquiao never really stopped training. Even during retirement, the fire inside him never went out. He's a fighter at heart, and that speed, the one thing that usually fades, first with age, is still there. In boxing, everyone says speed is the first to go and power is the last to leave. But Manny, he clearly didn't get that message.
The last thing to go is power, yes. Manny was also absurdly fast in his prime. So like a Roy Jones Jr. who hung on far too long, but was still fighting professionally at the age of 50, he still got speed that kind of compares to the average or above average speed that's out there today.
Honestly, it feels almost unreal. Pacquiao seems to be one of those rare people who succeed at everything. While other fighters take time off, he jumped into politics. He wasn't doing vacation tours, he was running for Senate in the Philippines. Public service, politics, boxing, he's like a machine. It makes you wonder, how does he keep going like that and still move like a champion?
That's how aside from boxing, I entered the politics because I want to serve honestly, to help the people. And I want to be an example, to be a good example to the politician here in the Philippines.
The answer? It's the mindset. Manny isn't just chasing paychecks, he's chasing greatness.
The answer isn't his mindset. Manny isn't just chasing another payday, he's chasing greatness. You can feel it. It's the same energy that surrounded George Foreman when he shocked the world in the 90s by winning the heavyweight title at 45. But Pacquiao is trying to do that in a division where speed, reaction time, and stamina matter even more.
Manny Pacquiao has always brought big business, but now he's going to bring it in more of the late career George Foreman type of way to etch himself into that record book even further. Can Manny do it? I mean, look, the odds are certainly against him, but there's one thing about certain legends in this game. Think Bernard Hopkins, who fought into a very late age. Some of them, as long as they can physically get themselves into that ring, sometimes they can reproduce magic for one night. So it's a romantic situation. I got cats walking around.
Yep.
People are excited to see the Pac-Man back. You just got to kind of figure out, is this for real? Is he going to be for real? Or are we going to send him into a physical, violent retirement?
Yeah.
And let's not forget, people are starting to take serious notice. One of the biggest names.
And let's not forget, people are starting to seriously take notice. One of the biggest reactions came from none other than Joe Rogan on his podcast. Joe was clearly stunned. While watching Pacquiao's recent training footage, you could hear the surprise in his voice.
Why? Because in General Santos, the mountains that he runs and that steep hill, that's why they're so big. Because he's always constantly running the mountains. And I was doing the mountain runs with him.
Yeah.
My calves started getting bigger and bigger. But I understand, why his calves are huge. But he's always bouncing, he's always moving around.
Yes.
Like, he'll bounce for like 20-something rounds. He'll do his pads and he's jumping up and down. And he really is an unbelievable person, unbelievable athlete, and a legend of the sport. I think as time progresses, people are really gonna, appreciate his greatness.
Joe talked about how it just doesn't seem possible for a 46-year-old to move like that. He even gave special praise to Manny's legendary calves, those thick, powerful legs that fans have talked about for years.
Manny Pacquiao, I think that he's one of the best. He's one of the best.
Floyd also reflected on their long-awaited fight back in 2015.
That's when his guest, boxer George Kambosos Jr., stepped in and explained more. He said those calves aren't just genetics, they're built through years of serious work. Hill sprints, miles of road work, and non-stop training shaped them. That quick bounce Manny has, it's not magic. It's pure dedication and discipline from decades of work.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't want to do that because that'll tarnish his legacy as well as my.
Think about it when a fighter comes out of retirement. Most people think they're slower, rusty, or just after one last paycheck. But with Pacquiao, that idea doesn't fit. Every new video makes him look better than some of today's top fighters. That's what makes this comeback so exciting. He's not coming back for a goodbye tour. He's stepping in to fight Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title. That's not a walk in the park, that's a real challenge. The fact that the WBC even approved it shows they know Manny's not done. He's not just some retired star, they believe he's still got what it takes. And one of the most surprising reactions, Floyd Mayweather. When Manny shifted gears from politics back to the boxing ring, it shocked fans, but Floyd's response caught everyone off guard. These have one of the most heated rivalries in recent boxing memory. For years, Floyd took every chance to mock or trash talk Manny, but now the tone has changed.